Hello, everybody. Wait, we're going to switch.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. Hello, everybody. This is the Calypso Cigar Review. I'm Randy Rankin, along with
Brandon Luna.
episode 59.
59.
We're doing it in reverse. We're freaking people out.
Not quite 69.
That'll be a good one.
We'll have to like, fuck 75. We're going to do like a big celebration on 69.
It's the year I was born, too.
Episode 69.
So I was born in the summer of 69.
The summer of, yeah. That Brian Adams was like all... Yeah,
me and my baby at 69.
Me and my baby doing 16. He doesn't say doing, but everybody thought he said that.
Right. So we're here at the Calypso Cigar Shop and Lounge in Richardson, Texas.
Changing it up. And I'm leading the show at this particular moment. Yay.
So what's been going on, Brandon?
Things. Let's talk about a cigar.
We're supposed to say stuff.
Stuff and things. Things and stuff.
Yes, we're going to do a cigar review. This is the Desiena.
Desiena312.
312. Or as I used to say, Tres y Doce.
Oh, fancy. He's a fancy motherfucker.
It's a nice looking cigar.
It is a very nice looking cigar. Beautiful looking wrapper.
Maybe a Corona Gorda, but nice.
Yes. And the wrapper on this is the Viso Habano, grown in Jalapa Valley from Nicaragua.
Nice.
Binder is Honduras, and the filler is all over the place. It's Viso Colombia, Viso Jalapa, Nicaragua Ligero, Esteli, Nicaragua Ligero, Honduras.
Nice.
So it's got a plethora of tobacco
of yummy stuff.
Yep.
This my band's really wobbly. I'm going to go ahead and take it off.
Okay. And this is the J38, which is the Corona Gorda at 5 5/8 by 46. So that's the
very meaty.
Size we're doing
very
today.
Meaty. Pretty veiny, but I like veins, so it doesn't bother me.
Yep.
A little bumpy, a little rustic. That's our new word we've been coming up with lately.
Yep. It's
a little oily.
I was gonna say it's got a little tooth to it. You got some bumps in there that look like they're, whenever you get those little bumpities on it, they usually contain some oil, so that's a good thing.
Bumpity, that's an official word now.
Bumpity.
Look it up.
Along with the other word that we've coined. Well, we didn't coin it, but somebody else did, which is waftage. Bumpity and waftage.
Well, I'm gonna cut with our Altadis Monte Cristo cigar scissor donated to us by Altadis USA. And
the foot is really chocolatey.
And Eddie Gavito, our favorite rep at Altadis.
Yes, thank you, Eddie.
Yes, thank you,
I'm
Eddie.
going to sneeze. I stopped it.
There's your cutter. Try the cold draw.
Oh, man. It got me. And we are pairing today with
a recommendation.
A recommendation from Kirk. And I think the only reason he drinks this is because it's called Glen Kirk.
Because he's vain. He probably thinks that scotch is about him.
Yeah, this is my line, guys. I made it. It's Glen Kirk. It's an 8-year Speyside scotch. So it's, way lower than what you would consider a good scotch, but we're gonna give it a try because he said it's one of his go-to cheap scotches that's actually pretty good. So we'll give it a try, see what we think.
You stepped over my Carly Simon reference, but
I did. I'm sorry. What was it?
So he probably thinks that scotch is about.
He probably thinks you should have sang it.
He's so vain. I don't want Carly Simon to sue me.
Nah, nobody watches this.
Okay. Cold draw is wide open. Oh yeah, you could breathe underwater with this thing.
Oh yeah.
One thing I always worry about with a Corona or Corona Gorda or Lancero is how's the draw going to be?
Well, we'll give it a light.
Just a tobacco cold draw, not really spicy or anything, but very tobacco-y.
But there is some good cocoa smell on the foot there, so I'm looking forward to it. We don't have an official lighter anymore, so if anybody's listening and they want to have an official lighter,
and it's an interesting contract that we agree with you. We will use that lighter till we lose it.
Exactly.
We'll have to get another one.
Till we lose it or it breaks.
Yeah. So using one of our store cheapy triple flames that actually work well. I've had this lighter for a year and a half. Yeah, that scotch is kind of mild. I took a sip and I didn't really get anything out of it. I'll concentrate on it here in a minute. All right. Retro Hell spicy.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That's nice, though.
Wow, that's
a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Right?
For the cold draw to not have much on it.
I know. It's weird. Usually you get the cold draw, you go, oh, this could be spicy. You take a draw and you're like, damn. That's nice.
A lot of smoke. Waftage.
Yes, definitely waftage. Yeah.
So cool.
So far, so tasty.
So what have you been up to, Brandon?
Man, I've been going crazy this week.
Yeah? I've had a busy week, too. It's been crazy.
Mostly work.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Nothing real fun.
Did watch a movie, and we're going to review it in the second half.
We did.
In the second third.
Yep. it's one we've been wanting to watch, and we finally got to the point where we could both actually sit down and watch it. So
interesting movie.
It's
not for everyone. Mm-mm. Speaking of movies that aren't for everyone, have you been noticing on Facebook, Circus of the Dead, all the publicity this movie is getting? It is
major
publicity. Major publicity. I can't wait.
Yep. And we are going to be going to the Texas Fright Fest.
Frightmare Weekend.
Frightmare Weekend, there you go. Texas Frightmare Weekend. It's coming up in
May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's going to be awesome.
Right at a month away.
I know.
So it's going to be so awesome. If we get to meet Linda Blair, I got to ask her about a movie she did called Repossessed, which is a genius title.
The one with Leslie Nielsen,
yeah. It's just the title alone is awesome. Repossessed, genius. But I got to ask her about that. The movie has not held up well because I loved it when it first came out. I watched it with Davis about a year and a half ago. Nah, I was sad.
Not so great.
But still, I want to ask her about it because it was funny. Working with the great Leslie Nielsen, that had to have been fun.
Yeah, hopefully we get some time with the people that are going to be there so we can get some good interviews. I think that'll be fun. And Scott Wilson from Walking Dead is going to be there, and he is a cigar smoker, so
that'll be nice.
I'm going to probably try and smuggle in a little group of cigars and
bribe him with some cigars.
Bribe him some cigars to talk to us.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Maybe. Yeah, I'd like to talk to him.
He has had a great career, and he's done so many different kinds of roles and everything. So.
I'm not holding our breath on George Romero, but that would be awesome.
Yeah, George Romero would be fantastic. I love George Romero.
Yeah, we've both been influenced by him.
Well, this is it's like a little floral note.
It's very floral.
On the head here. The smell through the nose. Head.
A little floral on the head.
Little rose petals on the head.
Oh no, working blue without even trying to.
Yeah, that's very mild.
It's yeah.
I could see it being
like no aftertaste at all.
Yeah,
it doesn't linger at all.
No, it's young. I mean, that could be a slamming scotch.
Right.
Let's do some scotch shots.
But you know what? It's not. It doesn't taste bad at all.
It's
very
tasty.
Inoffensive.
Yeah, tasty. It's just not what when you think of Speyside, you think it's going to be a certain kind of thing, and it's not that. It's young. But I could see, it was $17 for the bottle, so you can't really, at $17, it's single as opposed to you're going to pay that for a blended or more.
Right.
So go for the single.
What was the scotch I used to drink? It was a single malt, and you could get it for about $20 for a fifth. And it didn't say how old it was, but I think I read online it was a 10, but I can't remember what the hell it was called.
Well, Tomatin has their Legacy, which is not aged, and that's rumored to be like an 8 to a 10.
Right.
And then they've also got the 12 and the 15. We like Tomatin here, but so there's plenty of inexpensive scotches out there that you can try that are just read the reviews and see what maybe other people said if they've had it.
If you have a Total Wine, their staff is very knowledgeable, and you can talk to them, and they can give you good recommendations as well.
Yep.
They need to sponsor us now since we just.
I know, right? That Angel Share stuff's been on sale for a while.
Angel's Envy.
Angel's Envy, there you go. Angel's Envy. Oh, and speaking of Angel Share, remember we were looking for those? Hey, Nate, remember we were looking for the Angel Share?
What?
You remember we were looking for the Angel Share cigars?
That was incredulity, not a question.
Yes, incredulously, he said, we got them.
We did?
Buddy of mine from Stogie Friends, I put a request out to buy some.
Yes.
And he's like, hey, man, B&M by my house has a whole bunch. I'm going to go see what they got. I'm like, well, we prefer the smaller sizes over the larger ones, but let me know cost, and, if you got them, let me know. Never heard anything back from him. He's just like, he came back with, hey, they ended up having them. What's your address? I'm like, okay, well, how much do I owe you? And he sent them to me. So they were bombed to me.
Nice.
No, not today. No, I just got them today. We're going to let them rest for a good 5 years, and then we'll review them. It'll be awesome. You'll still be here by then. That's how long you have to wait for an Opus. 5 years, right? Look, you should see the guy's face.
Now, Rick Kohler told me that aging of the Opus thing is ridiculous.
I know. I want to give him at least a couple weeks to acclimate, and then we'll do a special review with our buddy Nate.
Yeah, we'll let Nate actually get in front of the camera.
If he wants to, or he can be the voice. He'll be the voice of God from on high.
He already has a God complex. Let's not call him God.
With his fancy Macintosh.
I love it when he says we're number one.
What?
He always says we're number one. It's always so cool. He doesn't use the normal finger for number one. He uses the middle one, but I don't care.
I guess it's better than number two, which is kind of, nobody does that anymore.
Or the read between the lines thing,
So what are you thinking of this so far?
I'm liking it.
It's dark.
Hope it keeps up.
Yep. Spicy, earthy, a little bit of cocoa going on.
Yeah.
It's got some good flavors.
The Scotch really brings out the cocoa.
It does.
You need to get you some of this Scotch, Nate.
Yes, Nate, you need to try some.
Nate.
Mr. Off camera.
So your name would be pronounced Nate in French, right?
Oh, Nate.
Nate.
Doesn't do French.
You don't do French?
His family doesn't do French.
You don't do like French toast or French fries or anything like that?
French fries. French
say
dressing.
Oh.
No, it's that movie Better Off Dead.
Oh, okay, yeah. Here, I'll
Yeah.
pour you for you since you've poured for us on the show. This opening has
That
been
was
very.
the arm of Nate.
This has been
If
a
you're
very
watching the YouTube video.
odd opening to our show. We've got no flow going on here,
That's okay.
but I hate that flow in the progressive commercials, so we don't want any flow.
Yeah. Fuck that flow. That's the arm of Nate,
The arm of Nate.
as opposed to the face of Bo for the Doctor Who watchers.
Never watched Doctor Who. I guess
Doctor
I'm
Who's the
dumb.
bomb, man.
I know. I guess I'm dumb.
It's cool. No, you're not dumb. It's just, it's a British thing. You gotta like British things.
I love British things.
You should watch it then. It's
I like
entertaining.
Ricky Gervais. I like Simon Pegg,
Yeah, it's very cool. Very cool show.
John Cleese.
Very well made for the budget that they have over there. You'd
Yeah.
think they'd spend it all. It's like mostly on fish and chips, and then there's some decent special effects.
Cool.
But yeah, it's pretty good. Entertaining, to say the least.
It's been going on for
Neat how
what,
they tie
30
stuff
something
together.
years?
Yeah, ridiculous
Jeez.
amount. I mean, they had a big break in between there. They had about, I don't know how many, like 10, 12 years where they just didn't, it wasn't made. And then they made a season and it just kind of disappeared. Like it aired, but it didn't get taped or anything. So there's like copies of it from like Egypt or something, and that's the only way you can get it. It's kind of weird.
Interesting.
Like VHS copies.
Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. Remember in your Glenn Morshower? Actually, it wasn't the interview with Glenn Morshower. It was the seminar.
The seminar thing, yeah.
And he mentioned that movie Bermuda Triangle.
Mhm.
I was telling a friend of mine that story, and he starts laughing. He goes, "I've seen that." He goes, "I've seen it pretty recently."
Yeah, it's on YouTube in full.
Is it? And
Yes.
I said, "Well, Glenn Morshower will refund your money." That's what he said. He would refund anyone's money.
Yeah, it's kind of free. So, yeah. It's one of those movies that they put on YouTube for free and nobody cares because it's just so bad.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious because it's one of those movies. It's called The Bermuda Triangle. And it was made by that company that did all those.
The Bible stuff, like in
They
Search
were
of
like,
Noah's Ark. and-
yeah, they were like pseudo documentaries, but they're really movies. And there's segments of the movie where it's like a doc where you listen to someone talk for a little bit, and there's some stupid pictures like one of those PBS documentaries.
Yeah, and they reenact things in it and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah.
But yeah, I saw the clip, and Glenn Morshower, it looks like he's 12, and he's like, "Hey guys, let's go to the." It totally doesn't sound like him at all.
Yeah,
Like,
the story is that they lost. In case you haven't watched that seminar, they lost the soundtrack because they recorded the sound opposite. Of,
And yeah, when you film movies, you actually
Yeah.
film the
You
sound
film
differently. It's
differently.
not on the film, so.
Right. And they lost the soundtrack, and they didn't have the money to actually bring the actors back.
And
have
they were
them
all doing other stuff already and stuff.
right.
So, yeah.
they just used different voices.
Yep.
And Glenn said he was sitting there with his family, and they're getting ready to watch this movie. This is his first movie. And he didn't come on until later in the movie, and he's like, "That's not what that guy sounded like. I feel bad for them."
Yeah.
He starts talking, he's like, "Oh crap!"
Ah,
they did it
crap.
to me."
Yeah. It's a great story.
Oh, man.
And you can hear it too when you watch it. It's just like, wow. It's like the same guy doing 90% of the voices except for the women.
Have you seen that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie? I think it was his first movie. It was Hercules.
Hercules Unbound or Hercules in
he's-
New York or something like
and
that.
he's
Yeah,
totally dubbed. It's
it's
so,
like some
man.
British guy or something.
Okay, trivia question. Arnold trivia question, because I know
Okay.
you love Arnold.
Yeah.
And now you can actually do your impersonation
Nah.
if you want. Because you haven't done your Arnold impersonation in a while.
I haven't.
What was his first movie in which they actually let him use his own voice?
Stay Hungry?
No.
What the Hungry thing? The one with this, Sally Field. He did his own voice in that.
Yeah, but that wasn't his first one.
That wasn't his first
No.
one? The villain?
The Villain was his. And they wanted to dub it. And
Yeah.
the director actually said, "No, it works this way. It's actually funnier to have this Austrian."
Yeah. Cowboy,
Cowboy,
that's supposed
you
to be
know?
like the all-American guy. I'm
What-
the cowboy. Yeah.
What did Anne Margaret look great in that movie?
She looked
Holy
awesome in
crap.
that movie, man.
Jeez,
Yeah, she looked
I
fantastic.
still would.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's not as great anymore, but I still would because it's Anne Margaret.
Yeah.
Who turns down sex with Anne Margaret?
I might have
Ever.
to put some clothing pins around some things, stretch some stuff out a little bit, maybe. But yeah, I'd throw a shot in her.
Oh yeah. So Anne Margaret, if you're
horrible to say.
listening,
If you want to double team with a couple of guys who smoke cigars, we'll throw a shot at you.
I didn't say anything about double teaming, but okay.
Double teaming. That's the only way to do it. Well, we went blue fast.
I know. See that Friends episode where they were talking that chick and kind of hit on Chandler and Joey, and they were trying to think.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the copy girl.
Yeah, it's
the
the
one
copy
that
girl.
Ross wound up doing. It's like, well, what if we didn't look at each other? It's just, it's really funny. But who decides who goes where?
Yep.
I'm thinking, man, this was the late 90s, and they were really, that was
They're
pretty,
teetering on the edge there.
they
Yeah.
were.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, darn tasty cigar so far. We're gonna
Worst
take a little,
first segment ever.
Worst for no. It's just this
No,
is
of the show, not the cigar.
this is how it is.
I know,
Though.
sometimes
it's like
you
you're
got
in a B&M
gold.
and you're hanging out with your buddies. That's how it's supposed to be. We got an extra buddy here. We're trying to keep him in the mix too. So
Yeah. So anyway, so we're coming up on the second. We're finishing the first third, coming up on the second third, and then this next segment, we're going to review the movie Cheap Thrills with David Koechner, Ethan Embry, and who was the other guy?
the other guy. Oh, the girl from
Sarah
Aquamarine.
Paxton.
Yep.
Yeah, cute girl.
Yep.
Interesting movie. Stay tuned for this review.
Bum bum ba.
All right, here we're back with the DeSiena J38. Is that what it's called? J38.
You're
We're
the
gonna
one
go with that
hosting,
anyway.
I don't know.
You got the deets, bro. Brah.
Brah.
You got the deets, brah.
We're gonna go with that. J3.
Yeah, it's
It's
five
the
and
Corona Gorda.
5 5/8 by 46, and it's a tasty bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a lot of flavor. Starting to, as we mentioned during the break, getting a little cocoa.
Yep.
Nice cigar. Do you know what this retails for?
I do not, but I can find out.
Okay, that would be a good thing to know.
It would be a good thing to
But
know.
it is a B&M cigar. It's
It
not
is
an
B&M
internet
cigar,
cigar. Yeah. And
I'm getting a little on the woody side on my palate. It's about $8 for the Robusto, so
Nice.
this is maybe even cheaper. I
maybe
don't know.
maybe 750 range.
Yeah.
Nice. My burn has been pretty good. It's a little askew at the moment.
Slightly askew, but never anything that needs to be corrected. I mean,
No.
mine's got like a little divot in it, but man.
Yeah.
I
I haven't
haven't
been
had
able to get a long ash yet, but
Yeah, I'm getting it about
I'm gonna
half
try.
inch ash.
I'm going to
typically.
try with this portion to see
Mm-hmm.
if I can get a good ash. So anyway, so we were discussing during the break, as people have watched, they realize I'm not a big TV guy.
Mhm.
And I know there's like 5 shows that I'm supposed to be watching. How you guys have time to watch all 5 of these shows?
I don't watch them all either.
But there are people that do, and I don't understand how people have that time. But I'm going to pick up one. I'm going to watch one of them. So I'm going
Okay.
to ask you for suggestions.
So what are the 5 shows you're thinking about picking up?
Boardwalk Empire,
Okay.
Mad Men,
Okay.
Game of Thrones,
All right.
Walking Dead,
Okay.
and I don't remember what the 5th one was. What was the 5th one?
You said no Breaking Bad.
No, because I know Breaking Bad. I know what it was. I didn't say it during the break.
What was it?
The Shield. People
The
said I'm
Shield.
supposed to have watched
And
The
that's
Shield.
already over too.
I know.
Okay, so you got a couple shows. Mad Men's about to be over,
Okay.
so that I think pick it up whenever because it's
Okay.
going to be over anyway. So
Right.
you can watch it on Netflix or whatever. It'll be
Okay.
done. Knowing your style,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that you like horror stuff, but you're not that big on zombies, I'd say probably
I
Walking
like zombies.
Dead.
I don't love zombies, but I like them.
Walking Dead is probably your best choice there because I know you don't like fantasy, so Game of Thrones is out. Even
Okay.
though it is a TNA fest, there's a lot of really nice boobs in that
That's
show.
kind of what I was leaning towards
Yeah,
with Game of
so
Thrones. Okay.
it's a TNA fest, but there's also a lot of dude on dude too, so you have to kind of
well,
fast forward.
it
But
happens.
yeah, but it's a cool show. I mean, it's very violent, very
Mm-hmm.
a lot of backstabbing and cool double things going. What do you call it? Double entendres and
Right. Okay.
it's just it's a cool show. Mad Men I never picked up on. I tried to watch it, didn't really get into it, so I would say again wait for whatever. And
Okay.
then the Shield's already over, so I'd say your best bet's probably Walking Dead.
Okay. All right.
Now keep in mind though,
you
Walking
said
Dead.
Boardwalk Empire's gangster.
Boardwalk Empire is gangsters,
Which I'm
which you
okay
don't like.
with gangsters. I just
Yeah.
don't love gangsters.
Now, Boardwalk Empire is also a TNA fest, and it's HBO, so it's
But it's got, I like to lean towards people I like, and I kind of like
Yeah.
Shea Wiggum, so I kind of wanted to support his.
he's got a really cool character arc in it. But that
Okay.
show's also about to be over, so
Okay.
it's got one more season and then it's done. So you can pick that up later. I
Which
think
has had the fewest seasons
Walking Dead's on its 4th season, so
Okay.
I think that's probably your best bet to catch up.
To get caught up.
And then we can talk about it as it's progressing, so that'd be kind of fun.
Okay.
So that's I think is your best bet. Now keep in mind though, Walking Dead, while it is a horror genre show,
Mm-hmm.
it's also very soap opera-ish, like most of the shows that are
Right.
on TV right now. So it's more like it really should be called like The Dead and the Restless.
Like Dallas meets
Yeah,
Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Night
that,
of the
because
Living
there's
Dallas.
Who's going to hook up with who,
Right,
and
yeah.
oh my God, this person got lost, and are they going to
Yeah.
die? And so it's a lot of that.
Yeah. Okay.
But you do like the characters, and you get into the characters, and it's switched showrunners a bunch of times, so it
Okay.
gets kind of frustrating because you'll really love one season, and the next season will come and you'll be like,
I hate that when I do that.
crap. It's like this season sucks, and then the next one's like, okay, it's got some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
they're really getting into the fan service side of things this season with the comics. So there's a lot more comic book based characters coming in and comic book situations coming in, which I like and don't like because it takes away the unpredictability of it.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's nice to see those characters that you liked from the comic. So if you don't read the comic, you're not going to notice any
I'm not
of that.
going to care. Yeah. Okay. Do you read the comic? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Nerd. I mean,
I am a
good
comic
for you,
nerd,
man.
yeah.
Good for you.
I read a couple comics. I don't read that many. I mean, we talked about shows and TV and how you have time to watch stuff. I tend to pick shows that have short seasons. So I like AMC shows and I like HBO shows because they typically get
That's why I was leaning
16
towards Mad Men,
episodes.
because it's not very long.
Yeah, it's like 12 to 16 episodes and you're done. I don't want a sitcom where I have to sit through it every week and it's 25 episodes or 24 episodes or whatever. That just drives me batty.
Yeah,
Plus,
I loved the first season of Modern Family, and I watched the first episode of season 2, and I've never watched it since. And I loved the show. It's just constant, 25 episodes. Yeah,
it's a funny show. There's episodes I would definitely recommend in Modern Family, but it's one of those, again, you don't have to watch every episode to know what's going on.
I agree.
The characters don't grow that much. It's going to be the same character season 1 as it is season 5.
Right. Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, so I guess I'm leaning towards either Boardwalk Empire or Walking Dead, just depending on which one I'm going to do. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we watched a movie.
We did.
Not together, but on the same day.
Mm-hmm.
Does that count?
Yes.
It does. Okay, cool.
We were texting back and forth.
Yeah, we were. It's called Cheap Thrills. It came out last year.
Mm-hmm.
The great David Koechner from Anchorman fame and all kinds of comedy. God, he's
actually, it was made last year, but it's on VOD now, so
that's
it's
right.
barely coming out
that's
now,
right.
Yeah.
So that's how I watched it. But man, what a dark movie! I would still actually call it a dark comedy.
Yeah,
there is some comedic elements in this movie.
I laughed probably more than I should.
Yeah, I did too.
In that movie, but I think if you don't have that sense of humor that you get the jokes, then it's going to be really it's just a really depressing dark movie, and,
right? And it fits my profile of what I like in a movie in that very few characters. I love movies with very few characters. Mm-hmm. You've got Koechner, Ethan Embry, Sarah Paxton, the other guy, I can't
Pat
remember.
Healy. Yeah.
Pat Healy, that's his name. And then there's a couple people at the bar, and that's it. And it really focuses on the four: Koechner, Paxton, Healy, and Embry.
Embry, yeah.
And so basically the premise is Pat Healy's a new father. Mm-hmm. His wife's out of work. He works at a like a Jiffy Lube type place.
Yep.
And he's got by the way, if the rent is $4,500 for that apartment in California, good Lord. Anyway, he gets an eviction notice on the day that he was going to go ask for a raise. Mm-hmm. He gets an eviction notice and has to come up with $4,500 in the next couple of days, or his wife and new baby are out on the street. Mm-hmm. So
rather than go home,
well, he gets fired. Instead of asking for a raise, he gets fired.
Instead of asking for a raise, he gets fired. Rather than go home, he tells his wife he's going to go have a couple drinks with one of his buddies from work.
Right.
Ends up going to a bar by himself to get drunk.
And while he's there, he's getting ready to leave, and you can tell he loves his wife. I mean, he really loves his wife. He really loves his family. And he's kind of a nerd.
Yep.
Apparently an aspiring writer who gave up on the writing dream to be a family guy. Mm-hmm. And an old buddy of his comes in. This is the Ethan Embry character. And you can tell they had a history at one point. Apparently they both were skateboarders, and so they had this history, but they hadn't seen each other in 5 years. He realizes, Pat Healy's character tells him that he's broke and he needs this money, and apparently the Ethan Embry character is he's a collector for loan sharks.
Yep. So he's a tough guy.
He's a bone breaker.
Which is weird because Ethan Embry, I remember him from That Thing You Do, where he's like this tweety little, and then like can't hardly wait.
Who was he in That Thing You Do?
That Thing You Do. He's one of the guys in the band. He was
Which one?
I don't remember, but he was in that movie.
Okay.
And he was also
Steve
in
Zahn and the other guy.
He was also in Can't Hardly Wait, which is a teenage,
with
little,
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yeah. So he's just, you've always seen him as this little bitty weenie little, kind of nerdy guy. Here he is playing a ball buster, and I'm like, I don't know if I buy that.
But he sold it. He sold it.
Sold it. Yeah.
And I'm glad I didn't remember who he was, because I was just looking at him. He looks like he's kind of thuggy. Mm. So they, he decides to help his friend out. Offers him a loan, but all he can come up with is a couple $100, and he's like, no, I need $4,500, and so Healy's character's getting ready to leave, and Koechner and his girlfriend are at the bar.
Yep.
And I got to mention something. Sometimes, as an actor, a prop can just sell a role for you. Just that hat that Koechner wore sold his character. You knew his character just by looking at that freaking hat he wore. It was awesome. Yep. And people think of him as goofy guys. He's
Anchorman. Comedy roles.
What an actor, man!
He's dark in this movie.
He was so.
I mean, he brings that humor from the anchorman. You can see, and even from the first lines he delivers, there's an underlying this guy's not right kind of thing going on. You can see it in his eyes, see it in how he handles himself. It's just a really good performance from him. And the first time Healy runs into him, he's taking a piss, and he walks in to go take a piss, and Keckner's in there snorting a line.
Yeah, with a $50 bill.
With a $50 bill, and goes, oh, sorry. Throws the $50 bill in the friggin'
toilet.
In the urinal.
Yeah.
So Healy gets done taking a piss. He's
He's
washing
broke.
his hands.
He grabs the
he sees the 50 and like you don't see him take it, but then you see him come out like shaking his hand like,
so
oh,
he took the 50.
Yeah. And then the game is on.
The game is on. So Keckner starts offering him money to do wild things.
Yeah. He comes back out of the bathroom, and all of a sudden his friend Ethan Embry's sitting with them. And he's like, hey man, this guy wants us to party with him. Come over here.
My ash is going good. Okay. Yeah, he orders this expensive bottle of tequila, like $300 bottle of tequila, and it's his wife's birthday. He's married to Sarah Paxton's character, and it's her birthday.
And it's the oddest pairing because she's like this young little hot thing, and he's like this old kind of dumpy dude.
And he addresses it because he's got money. He's got money. Money is not an issue to him at all. So it's like your $200 to whoever does the shot first. You know? So it's this kind. Well, the Pat Healy character's a little put off, a little scared of what's going on. But he sees the money's flowing, so he's kind of like, I need to get in on this, and I need to start doing it. So they decided to go to a strip club, and then one of the things was $300 to get to slap one of the strippers on the ass.
Yep.
And so it just progresses. So they wind up going to Keckner's house, well, actually his wife's house.
Yeah.
Because he makes it known later on he's got several houses. This is hers, and so the stakes get raised a little bit. The dares are a little more risky, a little more. But I love the progression. They didn't go immediately dark. It was
there was a catalyst that makes it go dark, and I don't want to ruin that for anybody. But it's a pretty big catalyst, and you can see why it goes. I think it was going to go probably there anyway.
Yeah.
But it takes it there faster, and it's just a really well made movie. You don't really get a whole lot of character development on anybody except for Healy's character.
Right.
But it's still really well done. I mean, the most mysterious character in the movie probably is Keckner's wife.
Keckner's wife, yeah.
Because she says so little.
Very little. She kind of, this isn't really a spoiler, she kind of takes a liking to the Pat Healy character. Because he's the nerd, and he's kind of the one getting the short end of most of what's going on.
And she always said that she likes guys who aren't necessarily the popular guys, but the guys who try a little harder than everybody else.
And he obviously
and she sees that from him. So.
Yeah. So she's kind of taken him under her wing a little bit. But this doesn't really give anything away. I'm going to go ahead and say this part. Well, the Ethan Embry character decides that, hey, this guy's got all this money. Let's rob him. Because they see this safe full of stacks of money. So they decide to rob him. And that
is the catalyst.
That's the catalyst.
doesn't go the way they hoped.
But some of the dares that they're not forced to do, but that they wind up doing are
it's
it does ramp up.
It ramps up pretty hardcore.
The writer in me didn't see. I saw a couple of angles, and when they went that angle, I was like, yeah, I can understand that. That makes sense. A couple of them, I was like, I thought it was going to go a different way, and it didn't. And I was kind of. One of them I was upset it didn't go the way I kind of thought it was going to, but then the other one I was very happy it went this. I'm like, I like that better.
Yeah.
But definitely twists and turns, and just an uncomfortable movie.
Yeah.
But entertaining as hell.
Yeah, very entertaining.
And
get a couple beers in you or something before you watch it, and go in with an open mind. It's a
guy movie. Watch it with your buddies.
Very much a guy movie.
With your buddies.
It's one that I saw the trailer for. My wife and I do this every week. We'll sit down and we'll watch the new trailers for the new movies that are coming out, and I'll have a couple of lists of like, I want to see that, I want to see this, I want to see that. And this was one that I saw the trailer for it, and she was like, "Oh, that movie looks horrible." She's like, "I can't watch that." I'm like, "That looks like something I wish I wrote."
Yeah, exactly.
That's something I would totally just come up with and write. I'd be happy to write that.
Would have loved to have written that movie.
Yeah, so
I would like to have acted in that movie.
I know, right? That'd be awesome.
It's one of those movies that, he actually is a paid actor. I'm a wannabe actor, but I do think about acting when I'm watching a movie. And I was thinking, that's a movie. Paul Newman had a line about Cool Hand Luke. He says, sometimes, a script can just define the movie and the actor at the same time, and you just become one with the script. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what he said. And that's a movie where, as an actor, if you'd have read that script, you'd be like, I got to be in this.
Yeah.
This I've got to be in this. I don't care what part I play, but I can do this.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing about it is I think Embry could have played either character.
Yeah, he could have.
I don't know that Healy could have, but Embry could have played the meekish character as well.
Yeah.
And probably pulled it off.
Yeah, probably so. But everyone like you said, Paxton doesn't have a lot to do, but she sells what she has to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's scenes where she's not even talking, and you're watching her, not because she's hot or anything, but you're just watching her. It's like, what
the hell is she doing?
She's got something up her
I know.
sleeve,
It's just
man.
the things that they give the. You got to wonder if this is scripted or if this was just business that she came up with as an actor.
Yeah.
But the business that she has puts you on edge.
Yeah.
It's just like, what the hell is she doing? I don't know where this is going. What she's doing this for a reason, but it's like, is it going to come back? And I thought it was, and I think that's probably the thing you were talking about where you thought it was going to go a different way. But I don't know. It's just a really well written movie, well acted movie, and it's entertaining as hell.
And like you said, there's a lot of Keckner's comedy in there, but you do that. He sells that underlying. He's not fully committed to being comedic here. He's letting you know, I'm different than what I'm projecting out here, and it's really good. So, you're talking about layers in acting. There were layers in his role and in his performance.
And that just goes to show you that comedians are very good dramatic actors, but dramatic actors aren't necessarily good comedians. So
exactly,
and that's I think it's just an easy transition for them because they usually comedy's born out of some sort of emotional bad state that you're in or something that happened that made you have to use comedy as a defense mechanism, and so they have that darkness already underlined.
Yeah.
And usually the really good comedians do have that, the ones that don't, the ones that force it,
Steve Martin's a great example. And if you watch early Steve Martin, you would have never thought he'd be ever be able to pull off a dramatic role. But he kind of progressed and kind of Carell's kind of doing that same thing.
Yeah.
And but Steve Martin's excellent in more dramatic roles.
Spanish Prisoner was a great role for him.
Absolutely. Leap of Faith. I don't know if you saw it. The movie didn't do very well, but he was excellent in that role.
And to a degree, Grand Canyon. He was good in Grand Canyon. He didn't have a whole lot to do because it was an ensemble piece, but his part was good.
And if you think about it, his character in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles isn't the funny guy.
He's a straight man.
He's definitely a straight man in that, and he sells it. He's not the funny guy in this movie. He lets John Candy run with the movie, but yet his reactions are awesome in the movie. But so, and Keckner's, I never would have thought of him in that role.
But either. I saw the trailer and I was like, whoa, that's a different role for him. I'm like, I don't know. That's, wife's like, really? He's in this? I'm like, that just doesn't even fit, but it does. It does. It really does.
It's awesome. But, it's not for everyone, but watch it. It's very dark. It's very a lot of cringe-worthy moments.
Yep.
The one scene you texted me about, I actually pushed pause and had to think about what I just saw. Like, oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so I definitely give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, and if you're a fan of, and to give you an example of movies that you might be a fan of that would make you like this, if you like Pulp Fiction, you're probably going to like this.
That's the one I was thinking about.
If you like Very Bad Things, you're probably going to like this. If you like Boondock Saints, you're probably going to like this. So it kind of falls in that vein.
Anything like that. Yeah.
Falls in the vein of that type of thing where it is violent, it is extreme, but there's some humor underlying to it. There's probably less humor in this than there is in, like, say, Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
It's probably in line with, like, Very Bad Things. So.
But snappy dialogue. None of the long-winded Tarantino dialogue that you get, which sometimes is good and sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah, my problem with Tarantino is he writes everybody like Tarantino, so all the characters sound like him.
Right.
And he's gotten away from that as he's progressed as a writer, but there's still always that, one or two speeches that sound just like him.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
So anyway, definitely recommend Cheap Thrills and watch it with your buddies and get drunk and enjoy the ride, because that movie is a ride.
It is a ride, for sure.
Okay, so what are you getting on the cigar, Brandon?
I'm getting tastiness. I'm getting a lot of...
it's more cocoa in the middle.
A lot of cocoa and a lot of wood at this point for me. There was an earthiness at the front, but the earthiness has kind of trailed off.
The spiciness isn't there as much, but it's still there in the retrohale, but it's just a lot of flavor. I really like it.
It's tasty. It's damn tasty so far. So we are going to take a little break.
I thought I'm supposed to be leading this.
Oh, sorry.
So we're going to take a break. What else were you going to say? No, I'm joking. We're going to take a break. We'll come back for the final third, and we've got shout-outs. And look at the shout-outs front and back, folks. And that's just mine and the show's.
I've still got mine, too, yep.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll be back. Alrighty, we are back with episode 59 of the Desiena312 J38. And this is a flavor bomb. We are at the Calypso Cigar Shop and Lounge in Richardson, Texas. As always, I am Randy Rankin.
And I am Brandon Luna.
As always. It's always been us. It's incredible. We might have other people, but it's always us.
Mostly us, yeah.
It's good to have consistency. Shut up, Nate.
With a side of Nate. Yeah.
And I was just noticing, during the break, I was thinking to myself, Because our first segment was, anytime we talk movies, man, our energy level just shoots up.
We like the movies.
People like, we like the movies, and hopefully people like that. Our enthusiasm, maybe it rubs off on people.
Yep.
We had a great reply on Twitter. We'll talk about that later during on
we like
shout-outs.
rubbing up on people.
Absolutely.
Off on people. Whichever.
Just don't rub one out on people. That's
that's bad.
There was a scene. Never mind. I won't talk about that. Okay. All right. We've got a ton of shout-outs. So we'll get to shout-outs, and then maybe we'll have some time after the shout-outs to BS some more.
Okay.
Most ever on Facebook. Facebook, we got Jeff Hirschauer. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
Love you, Jeff.
He loves you.
We love all our fans. Our fans, as though we've got fans.
Quote, unquote, yeah.
We got listeners. Thank you,
yeah.
listeners.
Thanks, Jeff, for listening.
Rap artist, Mr. Big Impetuous, Christopher Cornell. Thank you. He's a rapper out of Atlanta.
Sweet.
Thank you, bud. Chuck Clack. Paul Volker or Velker. I don't know how you pronounce it. Gary Griffith from House of Emilio.
Mm-hmm.
Quincy Washington. Michael Hunter. Bill DeLuca. And Nate Martin, and that's not the Nate that we talked to.
Different Nate, yep.
Different Nate. Okay, on Twitter. Tons on Twitter. And this is me and the show combined because we had a lot of overlaps, and I know you did too. Veritas Cigars, cigar boutique place out of Esteli, Nicaragua. Maybe they'll send us some samples and we'll review some of their cigars. This lady's following me on Twitter. Eva Woman *S.
I got her too. Yeah.
She's hot. I clicked on a couple of her links. She's a hot hottie. Royal Gold Cigars. Thank you, Royal Gold. We reviewed
several.
Casino Gold.
Kismet and the Casino Gold, yeah.
And they're following us now. Michelle at Smoking Prof. Out of Raleigh, North Carolina. This is a cool thing. I sent you that link. They have a mobile cigar lounge.
Cool.
It's a Winnebago or an RV, and they go to golf events and sell cigars at golf events, and it sounds really cool. And she's a professor in her day job, but they also own the cigar business on the side.
Sweet.
And
she's a professor of awesomeness in my book.
And maybe that's where most of our Raleigh listeners are coming from, because Raleigh keeps making the top 10, so go figure. Miguel Roca. Brian McGee from Toronto Cigars.
Nice.
A place your daughter has been to, but you have not. JR Cigars.
Okay.
Didn't she go to North Carolina?
Yeah,
she got
you
a cigar from there, didn't she?
She did.
Yeah.
Several.
Okay, this is an interesting. This guy started following me. His name's Stephen David. He was he followed me first, and I followed him back to help him, to thank him. He was an actual contestant on Wipeout.
Sweet.
He's got two pictures, one of him with Jill. Of course, you're going to do that.
Yeah.
And he's got a picture of him on the big red balls, which is kind of cool. So an actual contestant of Wipeout is following us. That's
very cool.
Cat One-Legged Blonde.
Okay.
She's pretty. I didn't notice if she only had one leg, though. But she's still pretty. Okay.
As long as she didn't have a third leg, that's good.
I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right. I apologize in advance. But Patrocina Chichetta?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. Thank you, Patrocina.
That's from Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter followers now.
Igor at Igor Naming.
Okay.
Yeah. I had said that these were from Twitter, but thank you for
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
For resetting. Appreciate that. Patrick at Denmark 98. Jake Kesselute. Kent Garrison from Mad About Movies. Richard Barden from Mad About Movies. Jim Vonnier the second.
Who gave us a very nice comment.
Thank you. That was very nice. Says we make him laugh his fucking ass off.
Yep.
Thank you, bud. Brian Duncan at True F1 fan. He's a Formula One racing fan.
Cool.
And a cigar lover.
Nice.
This guy I thought was following us before, but he's following us again. So Donald Cosrow. Isn't he a
I think so,
foreign
yeah.
guy? I think so. Cigar Cop.
Cool.
He's a cop who smokes cigars, and that's what he says on his Twitter thing, was that I arrest bad people and smoke cigars.
Nice.
So, good for you, buddy. Jonathan S. That's all I got. Gary Heller, his Twitter handle is at Acid Toker. Obviously a Drew Estate fan.
Yep.
Okay. Blue Water. And then his guy's name, he says, is Mr. Stay on Top, but his Twitter handle is at Risen Sun 21.
Okay.
And then YouTube, we got Kirk with Poolside Cigar Reviews. Love you, Kirk. Desert Cigar Reviews. They comment a lot on us. And then last but not least, our buddy Eddie Stogie fan.
Mm-hmm. So for Facebook, for me, I've got a couple people that comment pretty much on all the videos that we put up. Kirk Myers from Blind Man's Puff. Thanks, Kirk. Jeff Hirschauer, obviously. We've got Greg Kramer, who also comments on Google+. and Nate Martin, which you already mentioned.
Okay.
And then I have several on Twitter. So we've got Jim Vonnier II, who was just added. We mentioned him.
Yep.
Eva's woman. Yeah, Nate Rowland.
Nate.
I don't know who that guy is.
That's the real Nate.
Okay. Texas Frightmare Weekend.
Oh, they're not following me.
Yeah, Miguel Roca? Was he
Yeah,
mentioned?
I have
Yeah,
him.
okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, a lot of the same stuff. The Cigar Store. Movie Boozer, which is awesome. Millie Oteri. Oteri? We'll say that.
Okay.
Tangled Skin 200.
Okay.
I don't know what that is. Dan Newman.
Bot. That's a bot.
Yeah. Maybe. Jerry Cruz, and then the guys from...
Who'd you say before
movies.
Jerry Cruz? Because I talked over that one.
Dan Newman.
Dan Newman. Okay.
Yeah, that's the same guy. Sing LSD.
Okay. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. There,
Yeah.
buddy.
Smoketels.com. Smoketels.
Okay.
Smoketels.com.
Okay.
Maybe they have a list of cigars you can, hotels you can smoke in.
There you go.
That'd be cool. If that's
That
what
would be
that
a
is.
great
Yeah.
app. If that's not it, we're making that app.
Yep. Taylor Hall, Intis Lou,
Okay.
and that's really about it. Yeah, the rest of them are duplicates here. And then I've got some people on Google Plus as well. Let's see who has on the Google. Ryan Dizzle always follows us and comments on the videos. Thank you, Ryan. Kenneth Monty, who is also a roller, who's on Stogie Friends. House of Emilio on Google. Desert Smoke Reviews. Like kind of the same cast of characters. Phil Sullivan, Kevin Kapathy, who's on Stogie Friends. Both those guys are from Stogie Friends. Eddie Stogie Fan, can't forget to mention him. And Dan Gum, who also has his own site that he does reviews on.
Yep.
Love Destiny. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Love Destiny.
And Rex Mercer. So thanks all of you who have commented and liked.
Absolutely.
And given us those little reviews and stuff. We always appreciate it.
And as we've just proven, if you do comment or follow or tweet or whatever, we'll do what we just did.
Yep.
Your name will be mentioned by us.
We'll give you the shout out. In
'Cause
our,
it's
in
like-
our golden voices.
That's a bucket list thing. You just check it off. Randy and Brandon said our names on a podcast. Done. Just
Yep.
done.
Done. Bucket list check.
Bucket list check.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Even before Grand Canyon and before Mount Olympus or whatever. Mount
Yes.
Olympus, is that a real
Mount
place?
Everest. Mount Everest.
Mount
Mount
Everest.
is where the Greek
Yeah.
gods or Roman gods or whatever are from.
Maybe you want to go to Mount Olympus.
Maybe so. Yeah, if somebody's climbed Mount Everest, tweet us and let us know that.
Yeah.
I'd love to talk.
I would love to, if you did. I hope you smoked a cigar at the top
Yeah.
of that thing because that'd be cool.
That
It'd
would
probably
be
be
awesome.
frozen like a popsicle by the time you got up there.
Hands would be numb.
Yeah.
You see, there's a guy that's going to actually climb Everest. He's climbed it before. He's going to climb it again. I'm a big Mount Everest nerd.
Okay.
And he's going to jump off in one of those bodysuits.
Oh, the little squirrel thing or whatever.
Yeah, he's going to die.
He's probably gonna die. Yeah.
Because there was a thing on...
He'll pass
A&E
out.
or there was something on one of the Discovery Channel or something. It was called Everest.
Mhm.
And it would follow this group of people on their climb.
Mhm.
And this one season, this guy, he was a painter. And the one thing he couldn't do was lose fingers.
Okay.
He got to the top, and he wanted to take his gloves off long enough to hold the flag at the top and get his picture made. That's how long it took. Lost all his fingers.
Oh my God.
So this guy is going to have to take off his gear. What's he going to wear that suit underneath it? Well, it's going to be all crinkled and stuff. Is it going to work as well when he jumps off? I don't understand. Because he's not going to have time to take it off and put on the suit. He will lose digits.
Yeah.
Maybe even an important one, you know?
Yeah. Exactly.
So
His
there's
middle
no way he's
finger.
going to do. Yeah, that's what that. Yeah,
That's
of
the
course
important one,
Yeah. And, I mean, I hope the guy reconsiders. There's no way this is going to happen.
I would think he'd have to have
Dude, you would
oxygen to do the jump because at that altitude,
Yeah, you have to
he's
have
gonna
bottles of
pass out.
oxygen. Yeah, you
Yeah,
have
he's gonna
bottles of
have to pass
oxygen. You know, and it's not
And that's
like
weight to
and,
carry
and
up
they
there.
finally figured out you can actually get a helicopter up there now. It's still very dicey, but there is a certain kind of helicopter that can get up there. Seeing if they just deposited him up there, he's not acclimated to that altitude. He doesn't have oxygen. There's no way. There's no way this can work. This
Yeah.
guy's gonna die. And his quote was, I don't want to die, but I'm not afraid of dying." Well, that kind of sounds like you want to die, if you ask me. If you're not afraid of dying,
Yeah.
that means you're kind of okay with it, you know. And,
Yeah, I think that kind of
yeah.
that goes in line. with it.
I don't really want to die.
I don't want to die.
So-
I'm gonna die, but I don't want to die.
Yeah,
We're all gonna die.
I'll go kicking and screaming.
A cigar in my hand and scotch in the other hand.
But speaking of cigar, this is just a really tasty cigar.
It is very tasty. Yeah, the last third's got a little more bold for me.
I didn't
the
think
coat-
it was complex at first, but now
Yeah, it's getting there. I mean,
It's subtly
It went
complex.
from there was really no wood to begin with. It creeped into the second third for me. It's really prominent in the last third for me.
Mm-hmm.
Very cocoa-y, spicy. earthy. It's just got a lot of flavors going on.
Yeah, and it's probably because of all that filler that all the different.
They all meld really well.
Yeah.
It's just a very tasty cigar.
Yeah.
I'd almost say there's like even a sweetness to it.
No doubt, without a doubt.
It's like a little, I don't know. It's like a tinge of sweetness. I can't really place what I would call that sweetness, but it's it's sweet.
Because I've got it right now on my.
But it's not a cocoa sweetness. It's like almost like a fruity sweetness. But
I was going to say a little honey, almost a honey sweetness, a touch of honey sweetness, but it's got something there.
It's very tasty, yeah. So if you haven't had a DeSiena yet, look them up.
Do we have any more?
We do.
All right.
We have the Robusto.
All right.
Yeah. So just real quick, I want to give some cigar news snippets. I'm not going to go into the stories.
Here, let me take over since I'm supposed to be doing the lead. Hey, Brandon, you got any cigar snippet stories that you can tell us?
I do.
All right.
So I'm not going to go into the whole story. I'm just going to give you snippets. Is that cool?
Snippets.
Thumbnail.
Thumbnail. Remember
snippets.
that was the
thumbnail.
term.
Yeah.
That,
Hashtag
thumbnail.
cigars.
Hashtag thumbnail cigars.
Yes. So this is from Half Wheel, because Half Wheel is a great site for cigar news. So check out
We
Half
need to have
Wheel.
them on. They're in our area.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
They're our big competitors. But
Brent, not Brent. What's his name? Brooks. Brooks is a cool dude.
Yeah.
So they have a press release here from Black Label Trading Company. They're putting out a new cigar called Morphine. So adding to the drug. Let's get more drug names out there. We got the acid, and then we got these guys are doing acid, morphine, and the B&Ms, and we need to close them down.
Someone gonna call a cigar crack yet?
Yeah, right. Cigar crack, blue crack. The Breaking Bad cigars. Romacraft Tobacco is announcing a Panatella project, which is cool.
Have you ever had a Panatella?
I have not.
We've got some.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, this is Louisiana swamp tobacco.
Okay. So yeah, I'll try
We'll
it.
smoke one right after we
Hell
get done
yeah.
with the show. Yeah.
EP Carrillo has added a line to this summer. It's called the La Historia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of EP Carrillo. I like their stuff a lot.
Too.
Regius creates a pair of exclusive cigars for Hawaiian Savannah Club. Ooh, Havana Club. That rhymes.
Nice.
Press release: Swinger Cigar National Launch.
Swingers cigar.
I wonder what those cigars are going to be
Is
called.
it Vince Vaughn and John Favreau?
I have no idea. I'm just thinking it's some swingers that started a cigar company. 724 discontinues the Spider, which is one of their cigars they put out because of the lawsuit.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that's some BS right there.
BS.
And of course, there's some more bad. I'm going to skip the bad news with all the closings and the bannings and stuff.
Because I've got a little cigar news actually myself, so go ahead.
Oh yeah, cool.
I never have cigar news.
Let's see. Inaugural Davidoff Art Weekend in the Dominican Republic is going on right now. That's cool. Love to go to that one of these days. And Charlie Moore and Casada create a limited edition cigar. So go to Half Wheel, look up the cigar news, and you can read the full stories there. We just wanted to give you a little update on what's going on.
Hashtag thumbnail.
Yes.
And Jason Polar of the Polar family dynasty of cigar reps was in the other night. We had a nice long talk. He's a good dude. I like hanging out with Jason. I haven't got to do it in like over a year, but we had a good time. And he's now Villiger has gone independent reps.
Okay.
No longer in-house reps. And they've signed Jason, and that's a good person to sign. I wish him a lot of luck. And he was pretty much telling me that he's not pushing the Villiger that we know.
Mm-hmm.
They've got 3 new premiums coming out this year, and he says to be on the lookout for it. And these are the cigars that he's going to be pushing. And he didn't give me names or anything, but be on the lookout for the 3 new Villiger cigars. He was telling me he knows my palate. He says we're actually going to like these cigars.
Cool.
So don't let the Villiger name throw you. People think of them, they're from Switzerland, they're a European cigar, everything. He says this is stuff that people that like Nicaraguans and Hondurans are really going to like these cigars. So I trust Jason's opinion, so be on the lookout for that.
Yep. Nicaraguans are big right now. I mean, how long do you think Nicaraguans have before something else really kind of becomes the...
I can't see anyone topping. I mean, when I first started, it was all Dominicans because everyone was smoking the milder stuff. And then Honduras came along. People were like, oh my God, have you had these Honduran cigars? And then Nicaragua. Who's going to top the Nicaraguans? If you like the bolder stuff, who's going to top it?
Yeah.
That Ometepe Island, at one point it was a it's General cigar, they own the island. But they're selling off stuff. And, you're getting a lot of cigars with the Ometepe in it. Mm-hmm. Esteli's gotten huge.
Yep.
So the Jalapa Valley, or the Jalapa region has gotten big. So
Jalapa Viso.
I don't know how anyone's going to top Nicaraguans.
Yeah. I think it's really, I don't even know if it's really about topping Nicaragua as it is, when is the taste shift going to come? Because there's people, I think it's, if you get burned out on Nicaraguans, you're going to switch to something else. Is it going to be Honduran? Is it going to be Dominican? What's it going to be? Is it going to be a combination of both? It's going to be people combining. There are people already doing it. They're combining Nicaraguan with Honduran and stuff. Mm-hmm. This is an example. So it's happening, and it's just, there's just so much out there to try. Mm-hmm. If you're smoking the same cigar every day, you're doing yourself a great disservice. Mm-hmm. There's so much to try out there, and so much of it is good.
Yeah.
Try some new cigars.
Yep. The old rule of 1400 that we've mentioned many times. And So I do want to mention a cigar that I had this week.
Okay.
That I really liked, and we're going to review later at some point. So forget this part. But anyway, back to Toronto. Toronto's just putting out great stuff, man. And we just got one in that's a limited release called the Finite. Can't wait for you to smoke this cigar.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Probably 3-4 weeks we'll review that one, but
cool.
Very nice. And I told Kirk that we reviewed the San Cristobal, because that was one of his last reviews that he just did. But he did the Revelation, which I haven't had the Revelation.
Okay. No, I haven't yet.
So he's looking forward to that. That's a mini-sode. That should be, what,
Yeah, it'll
2-3
be a
weeks?
couple. Yeah, I might be sooner than later. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But anyway, Kirk has proven, Jeff Hirschauer's proven, you send us stuff, we'll smoke it and we'll review it for you.
Yes, we will. And we always appreciate it.
So anyway, you got anything else, Brandon?
Nope, that about does it for me.
I'm liking the Desiena312 J38. I'm glad we got it in the size. Thank you for sending this to us, DeSiena Cigars. Be on the lookout for them.
Yep.
We're going to give one to Matt and we'll see what happens.
If they don't have them in your local B&Ms, ask your B&M about them. Tell them they need to carry it.
Absolutely. And as always, it's been great smoking with you.
See you later, Randy.
See you later, Brandon.
That's so weird.